Hello, my name is Maria, and today I would like to share my story of what it's like to be a member of Shincheonji Church of Jesus. Perhaps not as common as most, my testimony of my life of faith in Shincheonji begins from the age of just 5 years old, when my mother was evangelized. People might ask, what is it like growing up in Shincheonji? To be honest, it's a lot like you would picture any church. In fact, I know it is because I went to multiple. While my mother had been attending services in Shincheonji, my father was consistently attending Catholic Mass every week, and as a result, I would attend both churches on Sundays. So, how did I end up choosing to stay in Shincheonji? Well, you might think having grown up here, I must have been forced to be a part of the church. But in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. In the summer before high school, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and it was a shock to the whole family. Our normal days of vacation trips in the summer and trips to the city would turn into weekly hospital checkups and frequent visits while my father was hospitalized for surgery. And I felt so helpless as I watched my family suffer physically and emotionally. Amidst all of the chaos, my father stopped attending church, and my own life of faith also began to dwindle. School and family became my only priorities, and I found myself no longer going to church, and eventually even questioning if there really was a God. Though I spent a lifetime in church, I didn't really understand or know God. And it wasn't until the end of high school that my curiosity to understand started to grow, and I decided that I wanted to study the Word. And it might come as a shock to you, but my only motivation for studying was to find proof in the Bible that God existed. If I was going to be a Christian, I needed to be fully confident in my decision. That would require clear logic and justification for my faith. Studying the Bible with Shincheonji did just that for me. Not only did I find a clear explanation for how we know God exists, but also regarding what His plan is, the purpose of the Bible, and what it means to have a true walk of faith today. Having been exposed to people of different walks of faith growing up, I had almost believed that the Bible was meant to not make sense. But I came to understand that the Bible is the most logical book on earth. And I was enamored with the Word and immensely grateful to God for having given me the chance to understand this amazing Word of truth. I wanted to share the hope and joy I found in this Word with the ones that I cared about most, especially my father. After all he had been through, I wanted to show him that God had so much more in store than just what we were seeing in the present. At first, my father was not willing because even though he believed in God, fighting cancer and various illnesses left him feeling really tired and weary. But my father began to take notice of the passion growing inside of me to spread this word, and he would ask me questions, and I would explain to him about the topics that amazed me within this word. Surely enough, my father, being a logical thinker himself, began to also develop deeper curiosity about the word, and for me, it was amazing to see my father grow in his heart the desire to understand and come closer to God again. Given all of the negative things being said online about the church, of course, at first he was quite wary about my involvement. But over time, those concerns were also put at ease because he saw my decision to be in the church was only driven by my ever-deepening understanding of the Bible. Today, both of my parents, my siblings, and I are all proud members of Shincheonji. Being a family in Shincheonji has its quirks, but we are happy, healthy, and most importantly, strong believers in Christ and His promises. And I was shocked to see people claiming online that Shincheonji drives families apart and makes its members cut ties with their family. If that were really the case, I could have never been in Shincheonji today, let alone my entire family. My mother, being the oldest standing member of the church in our family, has been a dedicated wife, a caring mother, and along with practicing her faith, she's taken care of our entire family without compromise. I like to call her Superwoman. She has always encouraged me to do my best to help with the family and to truly shine the light by being a good example in everything that I do. Rather than driving a wedge, being in Shincheonji created an even stronger bond for me and my family, allowing us to not just grow together physically, but spiritually as well. People also say things like Shincheonji makes its members give all of their money to the church and quit school and work. But that is also false. Shincheonji has never told my family to donate all of our money, nor has it ever forced anyone to quit school or work. As for my siblings who are in the church, one of them is working as a full-time programmer, while the other one is a full-time university student. Being a believer of Christ in Shincheonji isn't about obligation, nor is it about being forced to do anything. Rather, my family and I are all here after having learned the word and following the faith that comes from hearing the gospel. My name is Maria, and thank you for listening to my story.